Yeah, I started coming to pro circuit really all the time once I signed with Team Green. And as soon as we signed with Team Green, man, we were down here in California all the time. So we still lived in Washington, but we were down here all the time. And you know, Dave Chase was doing motors and running service department, and Mitch and Bones and everybody was here, and things were really, really busy at the time. And like, I was just a little kid just kind of rolling through here, and my dad would come here and get the stuff that he needed. But Mitch said one time, he was like, "You remind me like of a little Ricky," you know, at the time, that like I would just kind of roam wherever I wanted to go in the shop, race team, service, wherever, you know, the front area. So you know, as for a specific memory, not really, but I can remember just coming here all the time, having to come here and get parts or do this or do that. So, or my dad anyway. So it was always, I've been in the shop for a long time. Yeah, Mitch is, you know, for me, I mean, he's been a huge, you know, early in my career. I mean, he's been as an amateur, and then I was here for 3 years on for the lights team. He's been a huge influence on my career, and even today, now that you know, I'm retired, been retired for a few years, like I have, you know, Mitch has been, you know, kind enough to give me a bay in the back by the semi, and I have like a bunch of, you know, areas and just things that, like, you know, that he helps me out with. It's if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing currently as a retired rider, you know, popping in here and racing this and racing that and doing the 125 things and things like that. Like Schneike's in the back, and he does a lot of development, but like when it comes time for me to just go race 4 laps on a 125 at Hangtown or Paulo or wherever, like, he's my mechanic. So, and he develops my 125 and 250 for straight rhythm coming up. So you know, it's such a huge help on my end to still have, you know, to still be inside this building. I think one that probably happens a lot, you know, is more like, I don't know if it happens anymore, but like, I know like Big B from Factory Cowie and at the time was Corky that drove our truck. Sometimes they'd put snakes in the you know, cooler with fishing string attached to it. So when you open it up, it'd kind of jump at you. But just in general, you know, there's like any race team, there's the serious time, but then also, you know, Mitch really likes to have a good time too, and you know, I was lucky enough to always do a great job racing for him. So, you know, knock on wood, I never seen like, I mean, yeah, sometimes he would maybe get on my case a little bit here or there, but ultimately I pretty much did what I was told and did my job. But now it's our relationship is awesome, because obviously there's really nothing on the line. Like Mitch, you know, I mean, he's done so much inside this industry. You know, he's definitely an icon of supercross and motocross, and for, you know, for me, like, yeah, I still, you know, when I was at Factory Cowie, you know, would still come over and talk to Mitch and talk to Bones and things like that, and I guess try to share a little bit of information. I mean, it's hard to share information. It's hard for to put them to put a little insight, say, on my bike, because they don't actually know what's in it type thing, but they could say, oh, you're slow here, you're slow there, you know, whatever. You know, so all those things help. Everybody's, you know, trying to, you know, make each other better. I think, you know, Mitch he holds a pretty high standard, you know, for his riders, and when he, you say, picks a guy that, call it an underdog, and brings him into, you know, on the team, and brings him and puts him inside the, you know, with the top guys, because he's always got obviously a top guy, and mends them together. I think that with the team that Mitch has created inside the race shop, with the mechanics, with the engine builders, the suspension guys, as a whole, you know, he takes that underdog and already elevates them just by saying, okay, I'm riding for Mitch Payton now, and you know, that holds a, you know, kind of a lot of, sometimes can be a lot of pressure, but other times it actually brings them, you know, up to a different level that they would have just by being on the team, being, you know, sitting on that bike. So, but then it's performing, and then also getting better. So, you know, yeah, it seems like that happens more today than it has in the past. Like when I was racing, like now it's like all the teams are pretty good, and all the riders are. There's not really. I mean, every once in a while there's a real standout guy, but everybody's pretty close today. So it's like, okay, you get 2 or 3 good guys that like those are your championship guys, and then you got to take a chance on somebody. So, you know, and sometimes those guys really work out. The thing, actually, I was talking to a friend up in Washington, and I was telling him, oh yeah, like if you know, bring your husky down there, he'll do the cylinder and head, and so it was a 125, and he's like they do other stuff, and I'm like, dude, he does that. He does everything. And that's the thing is like if you come in and happen to see him in the shop or whatever, like he'll give you the time to, as long as he's not super busy, like he'll you know, give you a little bit of time and talk to you and do this and, you know, tell you what he thinks. He's working on all different types of, you know, all different manufacturers, and yeah, I'm on a Yamaha now, and you know, I just picked up my 2020, and he's working on pistons right now, and he's going to end up putting one of those in there, and I'll go try it and give him my feedback, and along with suspension, we're going to update my suspension now and go out and do some testing with it. So, and you know, we'll probably come up with a new setting for the paperwork, so for the production side of it. So he's just always constantly trying to get better and produce better parts and make bikes, you know, better, but also very reliable.